tonight, another tool in the tool bag. Minnesota is launching a new system to streamline the vaccination process.
Plus, looking back, we take a trip back in time to see how a prominent Duluth businessman impacted the area.
Plus, soaring prices, why you're paying more at the pump, and what cold weather has to do with it.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us tonight. Minnesota health officials have launched a new COVID-19 vaccine connector tool that will notify you when it's your turn for a shot.
CBS3's Leanne Valdez explains how health leaders say this brings us one step closer to normalcy.
This tool is a really big step toward connecting all Minnesotans with the vaccine.
There is now a new way to make sure you don't miss your chance to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
It'll help them find out when they're eligible.
Minnesota health officials launched a new COVID-19 vaccine connector. The online tool will notify you when it's your turn for a shot.
I just really want to encourage all Minnesotans 18 years of age and older who have not yet been vaccinated to check this out.
To sign up, there's a website you'll need to visit and answer questions that are divided into 3 categories. Number 1, demographic.
Questions related to work industries, whether you're a first responder or not, whether you're in childcare or education.
Number 2 surrounds medical history, and 3, contact information.
It's really broadly intended to allow people to sign up quickly.
Health officials say this is also an important way to make sure those who have been disproportionately hit by COVID-19 get vaccinated.
This will help us improve our ability to make sure that those disproportionately affected communities, including communities of color and American Indians, are able to access the vaccine.
After you fill out the questionnaire, the wait begins. You'll either get notified via email, phone call, or text when there's an opportunity for you to get your shot in your area. If you're unable to sign up digitally, you can reach out to the state, says Commissioner of Minnesota IT Services, Tarek Tomes.
Those who need assistance in signing up for the vaccine connector can call 833-431-2053. And as Commissioner Malcolm said,
if you missed it, that phone number again is 833-431-2053. And you can also find it on our website and at the bottom of your screen there. If you're 65 and older and already added your name to the wait list for Minnesota's community vaccination clinics, you do not need to sign up for this tool.
Meanwhile, Wisconsin is also launching a new way to determine your COVID vaccine eligibility. An online registry will go live next month. It will help people determine if they're eligible for the shot, where they can get it, and allow them to schedule an appointment. The registry will undergo testing next week with a full launch for all vaccinators starting April 1st. State health officials say while this will help them streamline the process, access to the vaccine is still the biggest challenge.
And all our vaccinators are committed to getting every vaccine in arms as quickly, as safely, and as equitably as possible. And they are ready to administer far more vaccines than we currently receive.
The registry can send reminders to those already vaccinated to make sure they get their second vaccine dose. It can also help them monitor for any side effects after they get the vaccine.
An update to a story we first brought you on Tuesday. Wisconsin's governor has signed a bill that will cut taxes for businesses that took loans during the pandemic. The new law makes Paycheck Protection Program loans tax deductible. The loans are already tax deductible under federal law, but not under state law. It's estimated to result in a state tax cut of $540 million by the middle of 2023. Hayward business leaders told us earlier this week they didn't think taxing the loans was fair because they didn't know that at the time they applied.
The Drummond Elementary School is getting national recognition for work in the classroom. The school was one of 8 Wisconsin schools chosen for the Blue Ribbon School program. The school was recognized for their effort closing the student achievement gap. The program is part of the U.S. Department of Education's effort to highlight schools showing leadership and academic success across the country. Drummond was chosen based on the results of state-mandated testing over the last 3 to 5 years.
We got a lot of kids that work really hard. We got a lot of teachers that work really hard, and we got a lot of parents that support their kids and their academic growth.
The school has about 150 elementary school students from kindergarten to 6th grade, and coming up tonight at 10, students and teachers will share what this award means to them.
The University of Wisconsin system president wants at least 3/4 of all classes to be taught in person this fall. Tommy Thompson says he's directed all UW campuses to make sure students have a traditional campus experience. He says the system's aggressive testing protocols, social distancing, and masks have kept COVID-19 infection rates low. He says the time has come to resume as much of an in-person campus experience as possible this fall.
Police say a violent run-in with the man yesterday was their second time with the same person. Officers arrested 42-year-old Joseph Eastman yesterday after he led them on a pursuit from Superior to Duluth. When the chase started, police say Eastman injured 2 officers when he drove at them. We now know those offenses were connected to an incident on February 12th. Authorities tried to arrest Eastman at his Duluth home. They say he also escaped in a car that time, but not before hitting a police car and injuring the officer inside. Investigators found weapons, ammunition, and drugs inside the home. Eastman now faces multiple felony charges, including assault, weapons, and drug-related charges. And let's get a quick look at the weather. Dave, just seems like that little smattering of snow is just kind of lingering all day, kind of coming in and out.
Yeah, and it could all night as well, but I do think the heaviest of the snow is done. It got a little sassy up the North Shore thanks to lake enhancement for places like Lake and Cook counties, where 4.5 inches of snow fell, where we were expecting about 1. But looking at the situation right now, it's still a fairly cloudy sky out there, and still a couple of flurries peppering places like the head of the lakes here. 30% chance we'll see more of that tonight through early tomorrow morning. But let's take a live look at what's going on outside of Ely on Highway 1 and 169. Well, any light snows there have been cleaned up off the roadways, and that's a sign that road conditions are improving very nicely in Minnesota's Arrowhead. I'll show you a picture of that map here in just a few more minutes. That shows things are just about back to normal. Now, what's coming around for tonight and tomorrow? Our short-term forecast says we're eyeing up that flurry chance to go around through early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's low 0 here for the Twin Ports. Could go as cold as 10 below for northern Minnesota, 5 below for Hayward area. But then we top out at 15 above again. Still 10 degrees cooler than normal, but we're making up ground every day. With the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes, we'll talk about getting into the 20s for the weekend and even farther than that by Monday.
Thanks, Dave. Prominent Duluth businessman Joel Leibovitz passed away Saturday. A diligent and compassionate worker, Leibovitz impacted the community of northern Minnesota and beyond. CBS 3's Kendall Jarbo is in the newsroom for us tonight, sharing the legacy he's leaving behind. Kendall.
Tony, Leibovitz had a great mind, but many say it's his care for people that will be remembered the most. Born in 1928, Leibovitz comes from a humble beginning in Duluth. He is widely known for expanding his family's business, Maurice's, from just 2 stores to nearly 200 before selling the company and developing others. A grad of UMD, the School of Business and Economics is named after him. Alongside his wife of 60 years, Leibovitz supported the fine arts and established scholarships to help students going into the hospitality industry. UMD Chancellor Lindley Black says they're grateful to have known him.
He was a friend to UMD. He was a phenomenal business person, a person who was very intelligent, energetic, very caring for other people, and someone who was always anxious to share his expertise and his success with others.
Leibovitz also taught classes at UMD and mentored faculty there. He died at 93 years old. Leibovitz didn't just leave a lasting impact on the business community. Tonight at 10, his family shares about the kind of father he was and the special memories they have together.
Definitely had a big impact on much of the region up here. Thanks, Kendall.
Well, if you've been to the gas pump recently, you may have noticed prices are up. The culprit is extreme cold hitting refineries across Texas and the Gulf Coast. Jeff Wagner spoke with a petroleum analyst to learn more.
A trip to the gas pump in recent months has honestly been stress-free for some drivers.
$1.98 was the best I had. I can't remember how long ago that was, but yeah, that was nice.
From about mid-October to mid-December, the average price per gallon was under $2 in Minnesota. Clearly, that's changed in recent weeks, and especially over the past few days.
I haven't even looked. Oh, wow, yep.
With some stations in the metro hitting $2.59.
So far today, that would represent a 19-cent increase to the average price across the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says the spike in price is directly related to the steep drop in temperatures down south, where 20% of our nation's refineries are shut down.
Those refineries are not built to the same standard that refineries up in our neck of the woods are built, where they're insulated from these ultra-low temperatures.
Any price increase, especially 20 cents in a day, can be tough on our wallets. But experts say when you compare our current price to previous years, we're not doing so bad.
Inflation adjusted, we are still historically paying in the bottom 25% of where prices have been.
I mean, it's still cheaper than it could be. It could be over $3, so.
On top of that, demand for gas remains low since it's winter and people continue to work from home. However, DeHaan says that will change as COVID-19 vaccines.
Well, still to come on Live Local CBS 3, the winter conditions in the south are creating dangerous situations for many. Find out how one Duluth snowbird is getting by next.
Record low for the States, 25 below from 1966. Well, we certainly have warmed up. 8 above is what we had this morning. And through the weekend, we'll just get warmer. We'll talk about that and another chance of snow by Sunday. All of that after the break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3.
Join us weeknights. We're live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health surgeon Brad Kuzel discusses standard and reverse shoulder replacement.
With the standard replacement, our goal again is to resurface the joint, and if everything goes as planned, it should function like a normal shoulder. The reverse is primarily done for patients who don't have an adequate rotator cuff or have an irreparable rotator cuff. So if I have a patient whose rotator cuff muscles are significantly torn and they're irreparable and they simply can't raise their arm, and there are patients who literally can't raise their arm at all, then a reverse replacement may be a very good option for that patient, because after the surgery they should be able to raise it up to about this height.
Regardless of whether it's a standard or reverse replacement, the biggest benefit is likely to be pain relief.
My preference is to be able to perform a standard replacement, but if a patient has rotator cuff muscles that are torn and they have arthritis, then a standard replacement is not a great option. The biggest reason that patients pursue shoulder replacement is pain relief. Mobility usually improves to some degree, but not completely. Function usually improves because it hurts less. But the number one reason for shoulder replacement is pain relief. And the number one variable that drives patients to want to have their shoulder replaced is when they start losing sleep at night due to pain. The success rate with shoulder replacement is approximately 90 to 95%, so the vast majority of patients are going to see significant pain relief. Their quality of life is going to be significantly improved. Spouses sometimes even note that their mood is improved because they're sleeping at night and they're not in pain constantly, and so for me that's incredibly rewarding.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
This Medical Insight was brought to you by Essentia Health. To learn more, go to essentiahealth.org.
Stop into Menards and get everything you need for your vehicles. Menards has a great selection of batteries, antifreeze, cleaners, wiper blades, and more that keep your vehicles in great shape. Check out our great selection of motor oil from top brands that keep your car running smoothly all year round. Shell Clean Engine Motor Oil provides value and performance in a trusted brand. Only $1.99 per quart. Now during Menards Race to Savings Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Get up and get dressed. I don't have time for this nonsense.
What is time? What is sense? What is?
Sheldon took a philosophy class and won't get out of bed because he doesn't know what's real anymore.
If nothing is real, then neither is the chicken. Oh, good. We're standing now. That's progress.
Mind if I put on MTV? Doesn't matter. We're all gonna die anyway. Deep thought, dingus.
A new Young Sheldon. Watch tonight or stream anytime on CBS.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by FOND-DU-LUTH Casino. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Heritage Window and Door. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WEATHERMAX forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, the snow that came down last night fell pretty much in the parameters expected for most of the region, about a trace to an inch. But up the North Shore, lake enhancement pushed things towards 4 inches. And earlier today, knocked the roads down a little bit in northern Minnesota. But those hard-working plow drivers and salters and sanders have been catching up pretty nicely. And now the scattered slippery stretches up Highway 61 and most of 1, they've been corrected. Still a few on 53 here and there, spots from Virginia up towards International Falls, but that'll probably be caught up with as well fairly soon. Next time we have to worry about the roads degrading a little bit, Sunday. That's our next chance for snow, probably a 30% chance, and for the intensity, very similar to what we got today. Not a big system, but enough to be a nuisance here and there. Current conditions at the airport, 13 above, no nuisance there. 74% for the relative humidity. Southwest wind is going 5 miles per hour, and our air pressure is at 30.34 inches of mercury. Current temps, 15 to 19 in the Upper Peninsula and 14 to 17 in northwestern Wisconsin. The range goes from 14 around Solon Springs and then perks up towards 17 in Ashland. Cools down just a hair to 15 in Superior, 14 Moose Lake, 12 towards Cloquet and Carleton. Silver Bay's there as well. Troubles with the reporting sensors in 2 harbors. Hopefully, of course, that gets fixed quickly. 17 by the lake in Grand Marais, lower teens for the Mesabi and Vermilion ranges, but slip into the single digits here near border country, which indicates we could go as low as 10 below tonight up north and inland, but about 0 for many of the rest of us. Now, getting a look at the current Doppler map for our area, well, that little low pressure system still keeping the clouds up for much of our area, and we can see Thunder Bay's got a little cluster of snow lurking there, but for the rest of us, it's really just a couple of snow showers popping up once in a while and here and there, and there's a 30% chance that'll continue to happen as our night goes on. But tomorrow, higher pressure should take over for most of us, and Friday it'll make for a partly sunny sky, Saturday it'll make for a mostly sunny sky, and the temperature trends each day goes up about 5 degrees. And then we get to Sunday, this low pressure system coming out of Colorado only has a 30% chance for light snow, like I mentioned, but it's going to really start to make things mild in here. If we hit 20 on Saturday, we go to 25 on Sunday, and then 30, 35 degrees Monday and Tuesday. Warm spell coming hard on the heels of a week and a half long cold snap. And for many of us, that sure feels good. Tonight, Minnesota low temps go from 10 below inland to 3 above by the lake. Still a 30% chance for those flurries, which we share with Wisconsin and Michigan. Lows there, 5 below by Hayward, 3 above by Ashland and Bayfield, and Washburn too. Partly sunny Wisconsin tomorrow. Maybe flurries linger for the snow belt though. High temps in the teens, mid to upper teens, Wisconsin, Michigan. And Minnesota numbers about 13 to 18. Partly sunny sky, which gives way to a mostly sunny sky Saturday and 20. Slight chance for light snow Sunday and 25, and then 35 degrees Monday and Tuesday. And then it doesn't cool off too far after that come next Wednesday and Thursday.
Thanks, Dave. Many Northlanders tried to escape the winter months by heading down south, but recently some have found themselves in the middle of a very dangerous situation. Mitzi Glowacki is a snowbird who lives in Sturgeon Lake during the summer and Alamo, Texas in the winter. The past few days, Texas has experienced some of the coldest temperatures ever recorded there. Like millions of Texans, Glowacki lost power, water, and heat. She says the temperature in her house has dropped as low as 40 degrees, forcing her to sleep in a hotel for a couple of nights. Glowacki says the cold temperatures are so dangerous because the houses down south aren't built for the cold.
I have a mobile home, and it's not insulated very well. When it's cold here, it's cold inside. When it's hot outside, it's hot in here. If you don't have air conditioner or heat, it doesn't take long for it to either cool down or heat up.
Glowacki says she has power back, but no water. She said she had to use water from her pool to flush her toilet. But she's hopeful because temperatures are forecasted to get into the 80s soon.
A Minnesota shelter is stepping in to save some pups from the winter weather down south. More than 70 dogs and 1 cat arrived at Underdog Rescue in St. Louis Park. They came from a southern Texas shelter that was overcrowded and did not have heat. When the cold temperatures hit, the shelter's pipes froze, leaving the animals without running water. Volunteers drove 1,300 miles to get them. The animals will stay with foster families tonight until they're ready to be adopted.
Coming up in sports, the Superior boys hockey team prepares for their state semifinal game. Everything you need to know coming up.
Outfit your Can-Am with a plow from Duluth Lawn and Sports.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
At Lift Pro International, we have custom designed and fabricated lifting, weighing, and rigging solutions for more than 40 years. With a worldwide presence and reputation, we need world-class insurance to match. This is why we trust Cindy of Vernon Insurance to make sure we're fully covered no matter where in the world we're doing business.
Protect your home, vehicle, or business, and your peace of mind. Call Cindy at Vernon Insurance today.
What's your favorite day of the week? Well, it could become Thursdays at FOND-DU-LUTH Casino. Every Thursday through March 25th, it's Kiosk Cash with up to $88,000 in cash and prizes available. Qualified Players Club members can play the game at the kiosk to receive up to $500 in cash. And you can participate up to 3 times each Thursday. For more details, stop by the Players Club or log on to FOND-DU-LUTHCasino.com. Thursday Kiosk Cash gives you another reason to
have a great time out at FOND-DU-LUTH.
Hi, John with Prime Appliance, and this is one of the best times of the year to buy appliances because manufacturers are sending us their new models weekly, and we need the room, so we're closing out last year's models at rock-bottom prices. Great closeout savings on Beko upright freezers starting at just $7.49, or Beko top-mount refrigerators in white only $7.19. Financing always available. Have our pros deliver and install or take it home today. Prime Appliance is the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
We can help you at KETAMINE North Infusion Center.
In public safety, we see things that sometimes you can't unsee. After these infusions, everything just kind of turned around and I was able to start enjoying things again.
To learn more, give us a call or visit us online.
Everything that happens on a day-to-day basis in terms of news, no matter what happens in news, weather is always constant, weather is always changing as well. So it's still an important role as the meteorologist to kind of still stay grounded and to kind of just know that role and what to take and kind of just make sure you're delivering what's the most important for your viewers. But then also I like to touch base on the national things. All of those news stories also tie in with weather stories because they do go kind of hand in hand.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
you can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
all of us
can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Local news and local weather here on CBS3.
The day has finally come. In less than a half hour, the puck drops for the Superior Boys hockey team at the state tournament at the Spooner Civic Center. They'll take on Lakeland Union, a school from northern Wisconsin near Mawonic. That's the stage the Superior has been used to, though, throughout the history of the program. It's a record-setting 38th trip to state after a dramatic overtime win over Rice Lake in the sectional finals. The Spartans boast 13 total state championships, 5 more than the next closest school, Madison Memorial. Head coach Jason Kalin says he's been ready for all 3 of them, says that this group could be due for a big moment.
They haven't won many. You know, not a lot of tournament victories. They won plenty of games. They just didn't win, big stuff. And I think for them to kind of get over the hump, this was a huge game for us, a huge moment, like you said, in their mindsets that I think this is going to pay dividends moving forward this year and then also into next year. We feel blessed that we're going back, and these kids deserve it.
His son Carter is a junior forward on the team. He's been working with these guys since they were in mites. Like I mentioned, they're just about a half hour away. No team has been to or has won as many games as in the state tournament as Superior has. They haven't been there, though, since 2015, and that 6-year gap is the longest they have ever had between appearances. We'll have highlights and complete reaction coming up tonight at 10. The Superior Boys hockey team, not the only team looking to keep their season going tonight. Girls sectional semifinals going on across the bridge as well. Division III Northwestern travels to Aquinas. Division V Northwood hosts McDonald Catholic. Also in Division V, South Shore makes the trip to Prairie Farm. All of those highlights as well tonight at 10. A game just getting underway at Amsoil. The UMD men's hockey team hosting Colorado College for a quick one-game series. A makeup from a game postponed in the pod back in Omaha. UMD men looking to rebound from last weekend's sweep over against Western Michigan, a weekend where they just scored 1 goal. Missed out on a huge opportunity to clinch the Penrose Cup. Right now, though, in the first, Bulldogs and Tigers scoreless. Catch that game on My 9. Talking baseball, Tony, this feels good. Pitchers and catchers beginning to report for Major League Baseball. And the San Diego Padres and shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. reported on a mammoth contract extension. According to ESPN and Athletic, the two sides have agreed on a $340 million contract. In just 2 MLB seasons, Tatis has quickly developed into one of the best all-around players in Major League Baseball. The deal is said to be one of the largest guaranteed contracts in American sports history. Tony, teach your kids how to play baseball. It's going to do it for sports. We'll have much more back here at 10. Kristen, you teach your kids how to play baseball, too. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, after a nearly 300 million-mile trek through the stars, NASA's Perseverance rover landed safely on the surface of Mars.
I think this might be the coolest thing to happen in my lifetime. According to mission managers, the landing was the riskiest part of the rover's journey, but thankfully it went entirely as planned. Minutes after it touched down, the rover transmitted its first photo of the Martian surface back to Earth, signaling it is ready to begin its mission. The rover is looking for evidence of long-dead microscopic organisms that may have thrived on the planet billions of years ago. Perseverance is also tasked with another first, exploring the planet's surface from the air thanks to a drone helicopter named Ingenuity. The drone and rover will study the climate and geology of Mars, helping scientists as they plot manned missions to the planet in the years ahead. Another cool thing, when they were launching that mission in 2018, they allowed people to register to have their name put on a little microchip, and that's now on Mars. I registered to do that, so my name is now on Mars.
Nice.
I will be signing autographs after the show.
And Marvin the Martian will find your name. And
yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go looking for temperatures because they're on the increase for the week ahead. 7-day forecast says Friday 15 above, very similar to what we had today, minus the snow showers that could be with us for a few more hours. Sunshine on Saturday and 20, 25 with flurries come Sunday. Then we hit 35 degrees Monday and Tuesday, and for some folks' tastes, that might just be a little bit too warm this time of year.
I'm not going to complain.
I will personally take it. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again at 10 o'clock tonight.